We're pleased to welcome now Kelly Bennett, Multimedia Journalist to SuperTalk Mississippi News.
Happy Friday.
All right, Kelly, happy Friday to you as well. So we were just talking about a possible appointment. Well, not possible appointments. We've got a couple of senators already who have been tapped by President-elect Trump, who would be, their vacated seats would be appointed by the governors of their respected states. We got Marco Rubio in Florida. J.D. Vance, can't forget about that. Of course, the senator from Ohio that's going to be our new vice president. So we've got a possibility of Mississippi Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith being appointed as the Secretary of Agriculture. Tell us about that.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I was starting to hear rumblings about this earlier, and I was like, well, I'm not reporting on that yet. I don't know if that's true. Well, apparently it's so true that now Governor Tate Reeves has come out, and he said on Thursday, look, she's been a really strong Trump supporter. He loves her as a senator, but if she's got other aspirations, that's great. He supports the move. Now, if Hyde-Smith was selected as Secretary of Agriculture, Reeves would need to appoint an interim senator in her place and then set a special election to fill the vacancy for the remainder of her term. I haven't heard any names being tossed around for that at this point. Maybe you know something more than I do, Gerard? Maybe? What?
I haven't.
Anything?
I mean, there's a million names being mentioned as a rumor, just as it was when Senator Thad Cochran stepped down. So, suddenly the governor has lots of friends. Is the way it works, and everybody comes out of the woodwork. Well, if you need somebody, I'll sacrifice and take one for the team and be a U.S. senator. So that's all I know at this point. Nothing else, honestly.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Speaking of elections, we do have an important runoff coming up. And I saw Secretary of State Mike Watson said, even though it was a presidential election, which typically draws more voters, I think it was around 60% of Mississippians actually got to the polls on Tuesday, Election Day, which is actually a low turnout. And there are some runoffs. So you've got two runoffs taking place Tuesday, November 26th. In Central Mississippi, you've got incumbent Justice Jim Kitchens facing off against challenging State Senator Jennifer Branning. In a portion of Southern Mississippi, Amy St. Pei and Jennifer Schlogel will go head-to-head for a Court of Appeals seat. With runoff election day being 2 days before Thanksgiving, the Secretary of State is really urging voters who may be out of town to go ahead and get ready to vote absentee.
I encourage everyone to start paying more attention and to make sure if they're going to be away on election day that they have plans to vote absentee.
Now, not anyone can vote absentee, but a lot of people will have justification considering it's a holiday.
So there are 8 reasons that you can vote absentee in person, and then there are 5 that you can vote absentee in mail. I encourage folks to go to y'allvote.ms, and it breaks down each and every one of those excuses and the reasons why.
In-person absentee voting for the runoffs begins this Saturday. If you're voting in person, again, the polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, November 26th.
Yeah. Wow. Well, and it's the week of Thanksgiving, so there's lots of concerns about turnout, understandably so. And I'm hearing both candidates encourage people to get out and vote early. That in the can, you heard Secretary of State Michael Watson there. I guess there are 8 reasons that could be cited and relied upon to vote early. So we'll see. But that's a pretty critical race for Supreme Court. Those are 8-year terms. Folks need to be aware of that. So whomever you elect's going to be there for a while. It's this thing to know. What about Governor Reeves? He had some significant economic development announcements this week. Lots of money being poured into site development across the state. Tell us about that.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing that helped us get Amazon Web Services, those facilities here. What they're doing is developing these it's an economic development site. That sounds redundant, but anyway, they're developing these sites before they've got a company coming in to move in. And Governor Reeves announced a $110 million in site and workforce enhancement projects that are anticipated to boost future economic development success in Mississippi. And that happened just this week. So more of these sites are on the way.
These investments will be critical to ensuring our state continues to experience unprecedented success, and they will be vital in ensuring that the over 3 million people who live here continue to be prepared, not for the jobs of the last 50 years, but for the jobs of the next 50 years. Together, we've accomplished historic things for Mississippi. Our state's economy is firing on all cylinders, and it's growing stronger every single day.
And there's a full list of these newly approved projects receiving funding from the state. You can find that online if you'd like to take a look at supertalk.fm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting times. I think we learned a lot from the AWS project in Madison. With respect to having that site ready to go, I heard the Amazon Web Services officials say directly, that having this site in such a condition where we can envision getting shovels in the ground ASAP to get our project complete so we can start selling services and making money, that was critical in attracting them into Madison, Mississippi.
Gerard, totally related to that, Energy Mississippi recently broke ground on the $1.2 billion Delta Blues Advanced Power Station in Greenville. That one's going to be capable of powering 385,000 homes across the company's 45-county service area. Energy Mississippi President and CEO Haley Fisackerly, dang it, that's a hard name to say.
Fisackerly
told us that it is the first power plant Entergy has built in Mississippi in 50 years, and it's going to be a huge boon for that area.
We have purchased existing units from power producers over the last 10 or 12 years, but this is the first new build in some time, $1.2 billion investment in the heart of the Mississippi Delta, the largest economic investment in the Mississippi Delta's history. So we're excited about that.
You love hearing that phrase, right? The largest economic development in this area. We want to hear that again and again and again.
Absolutely. Amen.
It means jobs. It means tax money. It means money in the coffers and all that good stuff.
Props to Energy for, honestly, they were critical in securing the AWS project. And now you see the benefits of that with this massive investment they're making in Greenville is a direct result of that. So, fantastic. All right, what about driver's ed? I didn't even realize this till I was talking to, as you know, Major Johnny Polis with the Highway Patrol, that a long time ago that the law that required driver's ed was repealed and looks like it's coming back.
Yeah, and I guess it's a little weird for a lot of us because I don't know about you, Gerard, but when I was going to high school, everybody went to driver's ed. That's how we all learned to drive. And then somewhere along the equation, it kind of disappeared from schools. And then we come to find that Mississippi consistently ranks as one of the top states for teen driving deaths. So what they're doing is combating this by passing a law, the legislature did, that will make driver's education mandatory starting in the 2026 to 27 school year. And as you mentioned, we had Major Johnny Paulos with the Mississippi Highway Patrol on this week. He's going to be one of the people that are helping to implement the program.
We're currently at 77 teens that have lost their lives in traffic crashes this year. And that makes the driver's ed program so much more important now. And we need parents to understand this is a huge issue in Mississippi and across the country when it comes to traffic fatalities.
But it's not just students, Gerard. They're developing a driver's education program for everyone. If
you've never had a driver's license and you want one, you will have to go through this driver's education program.
I don't know how they're going to do that. Will you go to your local school, your local high school to take the class? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. We got about a minute left, as you know. Tell us about perhaps a new Grammy for a Mississippian.
Oh, yeah. He won a Grammy for his 2021 album, I'd Be Trying. Now an award-winning blues guitarist with Mississippi ties, Cedric Burnside, nominated for another Grammy. They'll air on CBS February 2nd.
And the goalposts in Oxford are all over the place, aren't they?
Yeah, you can take photos with them. It's encouraged. You can find that story at supertalk.fm. Please go to supertalk.fm for all the latest Mississippi news at any time.
Really appreciate it, Kelly. Great job, you and all our folks in the news department. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Gerard, and y'all have a great weekend.
You bet. We're coming right back, folks, in the Element Wealth studio.